All right, guys. Well, it's Sunday, and traditionally, I like a Sunday dinner. All right, roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, thick, salty gravy, homemade Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, I don't do the veg. I've never liked veg since I was a kid, but you get the message. I like a Sunday dinner. Now, obviously, I can't have all of that on keto. I can't have the potatoes. I can't have the Yorkshire puddings. I can have the gravy, but you've got to be careful with it because it can be loaded with carbs. But what I can have is a chicken. Now, this is going to sound very dull, I think, but what I will have today is that chicken with quite a bit of gravy, nice salty gravy, and that will be my Sunday dinner. Now, there is virtually zero carbs in here. Well, it is zero carbs. You can have the chicken skin. When you've been on conventional diets, if you like, people say, you can't have the skin, it's loaded with the fat and everything, but that's not the case with keto. You can have the skin, it's the fucking best part of the chicken, isn't it? So what I'll do is I'll get this out, I'll wash it, and then I'm going to do it in the rotisserie. Now, I use golden fry gravy on most things. I'm going to be using the chicken one today. It gets a bit confusing with golden fry, right, and the gravies, because everything's like the carbs there, as you can see, it's done in millilitres and you might adjust it differently. So I reached out to them and asked them what the crack was. And basically, for every 20 grams of this gravy, there is 9.3 grams of carbs, right? So you weigh 20 grams of that out and it'll do 300 millilitres of gravy, all right? So what I would do is maybe weigh out 10 grams, of this in weight, and just play around with the liquid a bit. That might just give you enough. If not, go full hog. Go for a full 20 grams, 300 mils. That's going to be ample. Do you know what I'm saying? When I say measure out just half, I don't mean on a Sunday dinner, on something like this, because I'll want a lot of gravy. I mean when you just want a little bit of gravy on something, yeah? So experiment with it. Remember, 20 grams of this gives you 9.3 grams of carbs. So go easy, and you must have your scales to check out. This one is going to be slightly different. It's more or less the same though. You're talking, this one, 3.3 grams per 100 millilitres, and that one is 3.1. So it's more or less the same. So, but I've faffed around for ages with these, like trying to work out what the right thing is. So I'm like, well, I don't want 300 mils, or I don't want that particular thickness, or do you know what I mean, guys? Or I just want a taste. So you couldn't work it out from the weight. It's gone by the serving. Look, pour 4 heaped teaspoons, 20 grams. There's your 20 grams. And even this is contradictory in some sense, because they're saying 20 grams will make you 300 mils, but that's got 20 grams there to add 280 mils when it is actually 300. So when you start seeing contradictions like that, and you can't understand the backs, it's all based on liquid, it gets a bit confusing. Anyway, I dropped them an email. They were really, really helpful. And basically 20 grams of the original, right, will give you 300 millilitres of gravy, once you add the fluids, and that'll give you 9.3 grams of carbs. And if that's too much for you, lower it down, all right? And just remember that the chicken one, that's going to be more or less the same. You're talking a teeny bit in it, so I won't even try and calculate it. So they're both more or less the same. Now, to get a bit of flavour on the skin especially, I use this, right? Now, I guess this is the equivalent of I think they call it like chicken stock or something. I'm not really sure what you would call it back home. You can see, look, it gives it a bit of flavour. And basically you get like a little tablet like that, and it crumbles up, like you would do an OXO. And for each one here, it's got 1.1 gram of carbs. It'll give you 150 mils if you were making it into a liquid. Well, I don't do that. What I tend to do is I get the olive oil. Now, this is a spray one. I would spray that all over the chicken, yeah? And then I'd get one of these, yeah, and crumble it on there and then rub it in with my fingers. Bearing in mind that that's 1.1 grams of carbs for each one of those, and you might use 2, maybe 3. And I would also, on the skin, use what I call, some fancy salt. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, some fancy salt, some sea salt, rock salt, and make it nice and salty on top. Now then, what I've done in the past is, like I say, I would spray the oil on, get some of that on, crumble it on, spread it in all over the skin, add some salt, but it gets a bit messy and it goes everywhere. So what I'm going to do today, I'm doing something different today. Right? I've no idea if this will work, so you'll have to see which is best for you. I'm going to put some ordinary, pouring olive oil, if you like, so it's not in a spray. I'm going to pour some of that into a dish, and I'm going to break this into the oil. I'm going to mix it up so that I've just got a liquid, and then I'm going to, put it on, spread it on evenly, and see how that comes out. All right, so that'll give it some real nice taste. Okay, so I've put 2 in, and that's going to make it a bit stodgy, but I think that's going to be enough. I don't want to put another one in for the sake of doing so. And basically just mix it in. So there's 2 grams there, just over 2 grams in the flavouring, if you like. It might not look nice, but trust me, it really is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of this rock salt, the fancy salt, to that, so it'll make it nice and salty. Right, here goes. Now I don't know what it's going to be like using one hand, but let's see what happens. There we go. Look, I know it looks grim. I know it looks grim, and you probably think, "No, you're all right, Dunk. I'll give it a miss." But trust me, this will make it taste the skin absolutely incredible. And like I say, we'll put this on here, and then we'll bang it in the rotisserie, which I think cost me about £60 maybe not even that, I can't remember. Just go on amazon.co.uk or .com if you're in the US, and just search chicken rotisserie. That's all I did. Looked at the reviews, obviously. Always got to check the reviews and look for the dodgy ones that aren't wrote by, Abdul. Now, I'm not being racialist, but they are known for a bit of that, you know what I'm saying? It's cheap stuff out that way. Everyone gets offended by anything these days. Me, I say, look, let's just have a laugh. Let's enjoy life. I was thinking this morning when I got up, we sometimes our heads are down. My head's down a bit at the minute. I get like that. I've got all sorts of shit going on. I'm always laugh a go dunk. I like a laugh and a joke, and I spend a lot of time trying to make other people happy. But I do get a bit, down sometimes. And I got up this morning, I sat on the edge of the bed and I thought, do you know what, Dunk? Right now there's people fighting for their lives, and their families are sat watching them. And I've been there. I know what that's like. Sat outside intensive care units and shit like that. And, I know for a fact that those people, them families, them sons, them husbands, them dads, them brothers, them boyfriends, they'd give anything to be at home doing this, what I'm doing right now, as shitty as it may look. So yeah, we have, bad days and whatnot, but trust me, there's always someone out there in a worse situation than you, and I think that's how you've got to try and get through life. And you have a laugh and a joke and a giggle. If people get offended by what you say, fuck them. Couldn't give a flying fuck, mate. It's always people that get offended on behalf of other people that were offended in the first place. So, yeah. Anyway, that looks all right to me. It's got a bit of colour, and I know you're thinking, well, it doesn't look out special, Dunk. But I'm telling you, with that, that chicken seasoning, if you like, bit of chicken on there, and a bit of salt, olive oil, and that is going to be boss. Trust me. All right. Right. Now the worst bit of this for me is inserting this rod that comes through, because you have like a thing there that you push into the chicken and then tighten it down there. Do you see? And this bit here hangs inside the rotisserie at the top, and then you've got one at the opposite end. And I always feel terribly guilty when doing it. And yeah, but life goes on for some of us. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so just how I've put that on, how I said I was trying something different today. Look how I'm doing this, look, to emphasise how I did it. It's gone on a lot easier when you do it the other way. If you just oil the chicken and then break it on like that, it's a right ball. That's worked perfectly. Ooh, I'm getting excited. And there you have my rotisserie. Look, it's all ready to go. We've got the timer down here at the bottom. This is a little bit that you stand it in and you hook it up there at the top. All right. Oh, guys, if you could smell that Smell of a chicken on a rotisserie in your house. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, so as you can see, I've hooked her in there at the top. She's only been in there about 10 minutes. And what we do is there's an hour on the timer. I'll put that on for an hour. And then I will come in here and I will pierce underneath the chicken. As you can see, there's quite a bit of juices already dropping out after just 10 minutes. And what you need to do is get a knife and pierce it under here. And it will absolutely piss fluids out. Probably not the right choice of words, but that's going to make your gravy, right? That's going to be fine. But you must do that, because if not, when you put it on a plate and you stab it, it's going to go everywhere. So after an hour, maybe just, pierce it underneath, and then you're going to turn the dial around again, probably do another 20 minutes or something like that. Now on the reviews, some people say, oh, I do a chicken in this rotisserie for 45 minutes. Well, good luck with that one. If you want to risk eating a chicken after 45 minutes, fair play. Suicidal in my opinion. I've done it, I've experimented before. I've done it underneath an hour 20, an hour 25, and it's been too chewy. I've done it longer and it's been too tough. So it obviously depends on the size of the chicken as well. But that should be about right. If you buy one on Amazon, for example, look at the one that you're looking at, go to the comments section for the reviews, and there's a little box where you can search chicken, and then you'll get all the feedback from people saying, in this particular unit, I put a 2.2 kilo chicken in for X amount of time. I don't know why I said 2.2, but you get me drift as an example. Now these juices at the bottom, you're going to throw all of that in a pan. You're going to boil the kettle, because it says pissing around waiting, and you're going to add the juice to the hot water in the pan, and you're going to make sure that the pan's on full, and it's going to be absolutely boiling hot for when you add the gravy granules that I showed you. You're going to measure out those, aren't you, like I said, and you're going to mix them in. Now if you don't have the pan on full, if you do not have that absolutely boiling, then what's going to happen is this fat is going to separate from the gravy when you pour it over your chicken, and it'll still be all right, but it's not going to look very sightly. It'll literally be your gravy on the plate plus piles of this yellow, and you don't want that. So what you need to do is make sure you mix it very well in the pan, and then obviously have it as hot as you can, and that should be all right. All right, guys. So going to leave this for an hour. I'm going to come back in a bit, pierce it, and then stick it on for another 20 minutes and leave her alone, and we'll see what it looks like later on. All right, it smells absolutely divine. Oh, we can smell chicken all right, look, can't we? Because we've got a visitor. We call you Lucky, don't we? You and my mum's cat, weren't you? Yeah, you don't give me much fucking luck, have you? Do you want a little bit later on? I'm sure we can sort something out for you. Now look at that, yeah. Absolutely perfect, I'd say. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Fabulous. Absolutely perfect. Cannot wait. In goes the juice. So yeah, the granules are already in there. I put some salt in there. I think that's 9.3 grams of carbs, I think I said. 20 grams of gravy granules. Bit of salt, chicken juice, good to go, and we won't need any hot water actually, because there's enough juice there for that gravy. It's going to be beautiful. Just got to get it piping hot now. Right, we're good to go. So I'll get this banged on with chicken, and jobs are good. And catch you later, guys. All right.